Hey IG, happy Monday. I hope you're doing well. It is so nice to be here and to say hello. If you're watching this live or if you're watching this a little bit later, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Hey, MUA Tony Ann, a member of the Beauty Mastermind, a trailblazer. So great to see you. So you guys, I wanted to do a live because I couldn't believe, I was doing some research over the last few days, and I couldn't believe what I discovered. And I, just started doing a search to find out what the average makeup artist is earning in the United States. Okay. Hey, how do I say it? Tezkver and La Marie Beauté. Hi, another member of the Beauty Mastermind. So over the last few days, I've been doing some research, and a big part of the research, honestly, is because I am certainly feeling, the Beauty Mastermind, it's transitioning. It's, there's definitely more that I think that my clients are asking for, that they're needing. And anyway, long story short, this really inspired me to just do some research and really understand where my clients are, and then also where is the typical makeup artist in terms of their business who lives here in the United States. Hey Mia. And it was really interesting because what I realized, hey Tiffany, I love this. So many members of the Beauty Mastermind. Nice to see you guys. So what was so interesting to me, and it was really one of these moments where I think we all, every once in a while, we need I don't want to use the term a reality check because that's not what it is. But when you realize, what your reality is in comparison to others, right? And where you are and where you've been, it really just was an eye-opening revelation for me. So some of you know that back in 2014, it's really when I felt that my makeup business was falling apart, and I had been working in television with celebrities, and I had a bridal business, and financially, a big part of it was the Jonas Brothers broke up. I had been working with them up until that time, and then things became just unstable. And it was just a really interesting time because I had been doing makeup for well over a decade. Hey, Pretty Phenomena, and how do I say it? Marlicia. Hey, Marlicia. Nice to see you guys, and Pierre Smalls. So I had been doing makeup for well over a decade. I think at that point about 14 years, and had a successful business. And I always say this, a successful business, right? But I was having trouble making ends meet. And certainly when I was working with the Jonas Brothers and them breaking up, it was a big part of creating instability for me financially and in my life, because I was so used to working with them that I was turning other clients away just because working with them required so much of my time. So I share this all with you because I think at that point, my business was probably at about, I don't know, maybe 75,000 a year. I don't even know. I really don't remember, but I'm going to say it was somewhere around that point financially. And the reason why I use financial numbers is this is really important because what the money tells you, what the financial numbers tell you is really where the business is, okay? Because and when I say successful business, we're all going to define success differently, but I find that what the business generates is a really important metric. It's a really important tracker to kind of assess what does the business need. So I share this with you because when I had my business, I was at that time I was living in New Jersey, and I was working in both New York and New Jersey. So so I'd been doing makeup for about 14 years, and I was about 75,000. And then this was the thing that was really startling for me. I've been doing some research over the last few days, and I found a couple of websites, one of them being Glassdoor, which is a pretty well-known website, probably if you're a makeup artist, you may not know it as well, but it's a pretty reputable website in terms of like, this is where people, it's almost like giving Yelp reviews for businesses that you work for, and like, you know, I really liked this about working for this company, this I didn't like so much. So anyway, so Glassdoor, and there's another one, and the website escapes me now. But anyway, I just did a Google search, and I typed in, you know, the average annual income for a makeup artist in the US. And when I say the average income, I also specified it to be for freelance makeup artists. So if you're working at a counter, this doesn't necessarily apply to you. The average would actually be a little bit lower. But what I found out is that what the average income is for a freelance makeup artist in 2018 is about $31,000. And I was really blown away by it for a couple of reasons, because when I felt that my business was falling apart, right, I was already like more than double that. So when we use numbers like 31,000, you have to think like, you know, there are certain cities, right, like New York and Los Angeles. Oh my, I know, pretty phenomenal. Isn't it amazing? That's what I said. I was like, what? Like, thank you for giving me that reaction, because that's how I felt. But so we have to factor in that there are, you know, if you live in a city like New York or Los Angeles, there is more opportunity in cities like that, right? And obviously price points are different. I think that, I don't remember, for some reason I thought that it was New York that was had a higher salary, but I don't remember. So then I kept reading, and it said that, you know, for someone who hits the 6-figure mark, typically it's someone who is doing, you know, like film and something really, and not even with film, like I was looking at some of those numbers and it wasn't even quite 100,000 for the year. So the reason I share this with you is because what it also did for me was it really gave me a whole different perspective as to why you may be suffering or feeling like the business isn't working. So if I would have known back in 2014 that when I thought my business was falling apart, that I was like, you know, very like at least twice as far ahead than most artists, I think I would have found some peace in that, because what I felt was that I was failing. So give me some hearts or type in the chat box if you've ever had a time in your career where you felt like you're failing. And the reason I felt like I was failing was because, you know, financially I wasn't making what I was used to make. And I don't even think it was that. Like, I think it was just the lack of consistency. Like, I didn't know where my next job was going to come from. And for years and months, I pretty much did, because before I worked with the Jonas Brothers, I was working with Bethany Frankel. So there was a consistency. Like, they were my biggest clients. And then on the weekends, I had weddings and all of that. So, you know, I just felt that I was failing because I didn't know what was coming next. But I also felt it financially because I didn't really have a plan. Like, you know, I was okay because I was working. So then when things kind of slowed down and were, I guess, resetting in a way, like I didn't have a plan. I didn't have much of savings. I had a little bit, but not really enough to get me too far. Pretty Phenomena says, I was thinking that times have changed. Well, times always change. And I love that you say that, because one of the biggest things that I've discovered as not only a business coach, but I think a lot of the coaching that I do is around life coaching, and really understanding like how to play this game of life. And one thing that I know for sure is that there's always change. So, you know, the person who learns how to respond to change, how to move within it, because it's not like you're not going to feel suffering at times or feel afraid at times. I mean, shoot, I was afraid all morning today. Like, I went hiking, I was meditating, I journaled, it took me like 3 or 4 hours to get into like a state of mind where I could even open my emails, because I was just in a state of fear. So it's not that those feelings don't ever go away, but it's the managing. Like, the difference was that this morning I did take the time to do all those things because I felt that, where years ago I wouldn't have even known what to do for myself. or given it the time that it needed. So change is a really important part of it. Having facts is also an important part of it because it just changed things. So here's the thing. If you are at $31,000 a year or more, congratulations. Congratulations, because you've actually accomplished, like, you are, in the average, which means that, out of all of the makeup artists, right, in the country, like, you have established, like, you've gotten to a certain point where, you're a working makeup artist, right? If you're not there yet, it's something to work towards, right? And it's not about beating yourself up, but it's knowing, like, okay, so this is a benchmark. This is the thing I can actually measure myself, my business to. And here's the thing, without judgment, as best you can, because we all do it. We're all hard on ourselves. But what can I do, like, just as the observer, like, oh, wow, it's $31,000. So where am I? And am I happy with where I am? Do I want something else? It's just a way to measure. And I think that that's what the money does. There's a lot of things that money does, but it's one of the things, in a business that is an important metric. So, because it's going to tell you where your business is. Excuse me, La Marie Butte says, I have definitely felt like that. Yeah, I mean, we all have. We all have. Those feelings don't go away. I want to say hello to, how do I say it? Aki Minor. Can I just call you Aki? And Kimmy Sweet 2 has joined. Pretty Phenomena says, so true. OMG, you're telling my story. Well, here's the thing, Pretty Phenomena. I hope that you find some comfort in knowing that it's not just your story. Like, this is another reason why I wanted to do this live around this, is because it's more common than we realize. And without having the information, it feels isolating because it feels like it's just you. So I hope that this has alleviated, some, like, any feelings of failure or like, what am I doing wrong? Because, based on these standards, if you're here, or on your way there, then you're right on track. Mia Farah says a plan is key. And yes, I love that you say that, because that's what I want to talk about. Mia also says, I had the same type of morning, took me from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. Oh my God, I know it took me like 5 hours, but was needed. And I was kind to myself and oh my gosh, so true. So true. I got so much from this morning, and really understanding why I'm afraid. Right? My shit's coming up because I'm also doing some bigger things that I've done before. So, the managing, it's like, how did I get here again? But it's just a new level, right? And it's time to do those things. So yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the plan is key. Laina Davis, Davidson Parker's on. Hi, how are you? So when you say the plan is key, Mia Farah, I agree with you completely, because here's the thing, like, once you have this number, now you get to decide. So it's, 31,000 is the average income for a makeup artist who is freelance, who works on their own. As soon as I heard that, for me, and everyone's going to be different, but for me, it's like, I have never wanted to be average. Like, that's never been my plan. And without even knowing that, I mean, clearly the actions that I took got me to a business that was at 70 or 75,000, right? But you have a choice now of, like, what do you want? And this is really important, because if you want more, I am the queen of talking about getting to 6 figures. And I'll tell you why I think it's so important. I think it's important for a couple of reasons. I think it's important for the business because at a certain point you need, I would imagine, like for me, it was, I needed a certain point of stability where I could have a different kind of life, where I was no longer surviving, and that the business was actually growing, because what you're okay with at age 20 or 25 is not what you're okay with at age 35 or 40. I'm about to turn 39 years old, and I was thinking the other day, like, because it was 4 years ago at this time, I was living in that apartment in New Jersey, like trying to figure out, like, what the hell am I gonna do? And I remember that summer right before that birthday, and just feeling like, oh my gosh, like, I would have never imagined that 4 years ago I would be in a new apartment, that is brand spanking new. I'm the first person who's moved here, that I have a quality of life, because it's not so much about the stuff, it's about the peace, the the life that I've created, the space I've created. And I never thought that that would be possible back then because I felt like I was in such a deep hole. And I am so grateful, and this is part of the work today, Mia Farah, like that. It was just about looking back and acknowledging like how far I've come, you know, and not beating myself up for where I'm not yet, you know, but just acknowledging like, look what's happened here. And it's happened. One thing has happened that has led to another, that has led to another, that has led to another. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm also very, very grateful for knowing this, knowing that this is the average, because it helps me help my clients more. And whether you're a member of the Beauty Mastermind or not, like I share this with you because what you now you have information. You can't, like when you when you take some toothpaste out of the little thingy, right, out of the tube, you can't put it back in, right? You can't unring a bell. So now you have a piece of information that maybe you didn't have before, but now you have a different set of options and choices, literally because of this piece of information. What I'm here to tell you is that if you are someone who aspires to grow a business to 6 figures because of what the 6 figures means to you, because here's the thing, even if you say, I want a business of 6 figures because honestly, I want the money, it's not about it really isn't about the money. It's what you think the money will make you feel. Like, and it might be, I feel like I can breathe. I feel like I'll have a little bit more room. Like I don't have to stress as much each month and this and that. And can I just tell you, as someone who has a multiple 6-figure business, like I keep saying that and like, that's not true, at least for me. So I've gotten to this new level of like, man, like honestly, I'm about to go to Date with Destiny with Tony Robbins, like, or something, because I realized that like, you know, I have these things, right? I've gotten a business to multiple 6 figures, but there's a part of me that still doesn't feel like I still worry about things, you know, and can I do this? And, you know, what's the next thing I have to do? Like, so there's a stretching to it, but there's a part of me, an old conditioning from when I was that older version of me who was struggling, you know, there's still that piece of me that's still there. So what's happening is that I don't always have peace, even if my environment is providing the space for me to have it, because it's not the choice I'm choosing, if that makes sense. So, and I'm realizing this now because I do have a certain level of certainty that I didn't have before. And it's like, man, I have more certainty now. And I'm like, I still feel this way. So you know, it's really important I think for you to understand what the money represents to you. You know, I think for me, what it represents is, you know, what I'm hoping to get from it is peace, you know, just peace. Like sometimes I'm tired. You know, sometimes it is really challenging to get up and like, man, all right, let's do this again, you know, and let me figure this out. And am I doing my best? And am I fucking up? Am I fucking up for my clients? Like all of these things that we think, you know, and it's just, and thank you so much for all these comments. I'm going to go back and read them. But this is a part of the process, and it's amazing how much of this, I'll speak for myself, is tied to money. Because now I'm at this point where I'm ready to go to another level, but I have to clear this. So if you haven't yet gotten to the 31,000, or if you haven't gotten to 50,000, or to 75 or 100,000, there's going to be a certain point. There's a reason why you don't have it. And the reason you don't have it is because it hasn't become a must for you yet. You haven't made it a must. It's like, oh, this would be nice. This would be a thing that I want, but it hasn't become a must. So until it is, you've made the decision of like, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm ready for more. And then there's the resolve. And the resolve, like I could just feel it as I said it, it's already done. It's already done. So my intention with sharing with you what the average earning is for, you know, a freelance makeup artist is for you to decide, what do you want? If you want 6 figures, I can tell you that it's absolutely possible. You're going to have to play a different game. You're going to have to learn different things and do different things, make different decisions. It's not going to be anything like what you've done to get here. And that's really important for you to know because, I think it's an Einstein quote, you can't solve a problem from the same level of the problem. You're going to have to go higher. And the only way you can go higher, because you don't know the answer, you don't know the thing that you need because it's not in your realm yet. So this is why communities, and this is why I'm so big on, the Beauty Mastermind, the Trailblazers, like us having a community and having events that we come to, because you need, I think we all need the support and the energy from the community. And like the word mastermind, I love it because it's the combination of everybody's energy coming together, and then a new energy is created. That's where these like magical ideas come from, and where you can come and get the inspiration and the motivation and the tools to actually change your life and to change your business. So I am a big believer that whether you live in Oklahoma or Los Angeles or Ohio or Kansas City, it doesn't really matter where you live. I 100% believe that you have the same opportunity to make the same amount of money or more than anyone anywhere. But it's absolutely, you have to have innovative ideas. You have to have different ways of communicating. You have to have a message. It has to be clear. Like you have to be willing to do this thing even when it feels like you're failing, and you keep moving forward. And it's a combination of all of those things. Like I talk about this all the time. I have a mentor, and I need her. Like I need her first of all, she's got a multi-million-dollar business. That's where I'm looking to take my business. I need people around me who have done it because I need guidance from people who have been there, right? So that's a part of it. Another part of it is that I have a level of support from someone who has gone through this process. So all of this stuff, my last call with her was like, man, my shit's coming up. Like I just moved into this apartment and I should be so happy and I'm freaking out. And what if the business doesn't work? And what if I can't handle it? And that's why community is really important. Another part of it is for that real talk. Like you can bet that every single one of my clients is going to know that $31,000 is the average income for, a makeup artist in the US, and then now you get to make different choices. But I do know that different choices and different behaviors come from you making the decision of who do you spend your time with? Who are the 5 people? This is a Tony Robbins thing, but who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? You are a sum of that. So who do you have in your corner? Who is contributing or taking away from it? And do you want that? So it's all of these things. Let me go back a little bit because I'm sorry. I just got on that soapbox and it felt really good. But let me go back. La Marie Butte says, yay for the new apartment. Yeah, I love it. I'm so grateful to be here. Pretty Phenomena says, hairstylist for 27 years, 20 years entertainment business. Yeah, congratulations. And yeah, being in the industry for that long, like you're a perfect example. I did makeup for 17 years before I retired. What I wanted in the beginning of my career, I just wanted to work and do makeup all the time. That's not what I wanted anymore. For me, it's still using what I've learned as a makeup artist, but to help other people do it now because I don't need to be on set anymore. Like I did it, I loved it. I've had tremendous opportunities and it was just time. There was a certain point where I didn't get the same excitement because I've outgrown it. Like I have different tools and abilities that I can use at a higher level now. So if you've been working this long, like you understand, and I'm sure that your life is probably asking different things of you, different experiences. I want to spend more time with my family than ever before. Before I used to give up all my weekends. That's not what I want anymore. I want my weekends for me, and I want to see the world, and I want to just sit with a book and be in silence. I want a home that's quiet and beautiful, and I wake up to a beautiful sunrise every day. Like your values just change. So pretty phenomenal. I know you get it. Amelia's mom says growing pains. Yes. Oh my gosh, and this is so dedicated to you because you're right there, right? You're right there. You've made the decision and the resolve is there of I'm going to do something different. So I'm going to ask you guys to hang on because I want to share with you a little bit of what you can do if you're interested. Hey, Mia Farah. Mia Farah says your growth is moving fast, so more support isn't. That's an excellent point. When you start growing, growth can be exponential, and I agree. And when it's exponential, I think you need support. I think you need life tools. You have to learn how to work with change. What does that really mean? Because sometimes change can feel like it's bad. It actually can be really good. Typically it's very good, but it might feel really stinky. So I agree 100%. Hey, Nikki Posley, nice to see you. I hope all is well. I just saw your post and I liked it where you had the eye on your hand. It was so pretty. My dream is to be Nikki Posley one day and be that artistic. Edo's one is giving the thumbs up. Hi. Pretty Phenomena says, yay for you, Sonia. Thank you. Thanks so much. La Marie Beauté, thank God, and thank you for the Beauty Mastermind. No, thank you. I mean, I think that the Beauty Mastermind is, one of the reasons I created it is because I like community. Like, I need it too. So you all help me just as much as I help you, probably more. Yeah, Amelia's mom, community support all the way. Akuya says 17 years? I had no idea. 17. Oh, no, wait, that's me. And then you're saying, I'm ready to retire now. No, you're not. What you're ready for is you're ready to show other people, though. You're definitely ready to use your talents and abilities in a different way. And it's going to feel like it's the most exciting thing, the most brand new thing that you can sink your teeth in a way that you haven't before, because it's going to be a whole other part of you. You're already discovering it, but like this other thing of you that you have to share. And you're going to see that your makeup is going to transcend. It's going to help more people than you ever thought. And it's going to impact in such a deeper way just by you changing the way that you're changing and growing. It's really beautiful. Pretty Phenomenal says, yeah, I had a baby 7 years ago. So there's 7 years. Yep. Amelia's mom says perspective is everything. Perspective is everything. You have to find the way that this works, that this is helping you every single day. How is this helping? How is this helping you? Right? I was saying that today this morning when I was sitting there journaling, like, how is this helping me? Oh my gosh, I am learning. Oh my God, look what I'm afraid of now. I haven't been afraid of this before. Why am I afraid of it now? What's different now? What am I ready for? And I'm learning so much from this. Like, it doesn't always feel great, but I'm certainly learning. J Voss is on, and I am Angel Fox. Hello. Queer, so funny. Yes, exactly what I said. Yes. So, I wanted to, like I said, share this with you because I think it's important for you to know the facts. There are lots of opportunities, whether you live in the United States or not, to be honest, for you to not only create the life, the career of your dreams, to create the money that you need, to have a different quality of life, to have a different set of choices and circumstances. That's all possible. What I want to impress upon you is that it's just going to take a different plan, a different way of getting there. And I'm so passionate about you learning this and understanding this because, we do live in a different world. And I think that it's time to really learn how to actually have a business. Like doing makeup alone, being very skilled at it just unfortunately isn't enough these days. There's more. There's actual strategies. Like, first of all, I say this all the time, you got to learn how to sell. You got to learn how to sell your services. You have to learn how to talk about what you do. You have to learn about what it is that people value so that you can explain to them and share with them why what you do will help them and give them that thing that they value. That's critical. I am huge on events as well because I think that for me, honestly, was what got me to six figures, doing events. And then it's also gotten me into multiple six figures. You need something that's going to scale your time. So events is a great way to do it because for makeup artists, for the most part, you're working one person at a time, which means that, there's only so many hours in a day and you're either going to work a lot to make more money or you have to find a way that you help more people in less time, right? In a leveraged amount of time. So that's why live events are so great. That's why, for anybody who feels that they're ready to educate, that they have something to share, something of value. That's why I think education is tremendous, because you can be helping more than one person at a time. And once I started doing that, because that was what changed it. I started to scale my time. I started to leverage my time. So I was helping more than one person at a time. And that's how I got to six figures and multiple six figures, and then the numbers just go up from there. Now, that doesn't mean that the quality of work is any less. You know, I find that I have more time. I find that I am more productive with less time. So it just, you know, I'm hoping that you'll have the opportunity to ask yourself what makes sense for you. But really look at this. Really look at this and ask yourself, what does this money mean to me? What does this money mean to me, and what opportunities do I have because of the money? Will I have more time for myself? Will I have more time for my family? Will I be able to free myself of any, you know, loan? Like for me, honestly, I want to pay off my car. I'll be so happy when I don't have to pay for that car anymore. But it's like, what does that mean? For me, it would mean traveling more. For me, and I made this decision today, I'm going to do it no matter what, but I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. He was in The Secret, and he's an incredible human being, but he's got a church here. So I donate to the church every single month, you know, a couple thousand a year. But I want to give more, because when in order to feel abundance, you have to feel gratitude and know that you have enough, right? So one thing I'm so passionate about right now is nature and trees and plants. And there is a place I go hiking all the time, and there's an organization called Tree People. And what I got today was like, man, if I had more money, I would give them more, because I love those trees. I want more trees. You know, so what would the money give to you? Like that feeling of giving to causes, things I believe in, would be something I would do even more of. So think about it. You know, associate the money with the positive things. I would travel more. I would contribute to the education, you know, for my nieces. What else did I have there? I had like 12, like a whole bunch of stuff. Just all these things. I definitely helped my parents more with retirement. You know, what would that be? I would have a nicer savings, you know. I would probably have a few more cute bags and shoes. You know, so it's all of these things. But, you know, decide what it is that you want. You know, if you want more, go out and get it. I do want to share with you, if any of you live in the Atlanta area, or if you don't, I'm going to be talking so much more about this at Success in Beauty, which is my beauty tour. And I just announced the next date, which is Saturday, October 6th. It's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. And if you don't know who Jeremy Dell is, you want to follow him on Instagram and his handle is @PaintedByJeremy. And Jeremy Dell is going to be joining me. He is a gifted makeup artist who's based in Atlanta, and you just have to look at his work. He's so talented. But Jeremy is joining me for Success in Beauty, and we're going to be sharing with you like what we've done, like what it really looks like to achieve success, and not only financially, but like professionally. Like, you know, Jeremy just came back from the Essence Fest. He was doing makeup all weekend. Like we've both done makeup at Essence Fest. Like how did that happen? We're both in the union. How did that happen, right? How did we become our own bosses? Like these are things we're gonna cover, because I think that this is, and let me know if these things are of interest or what you wanna hear about. But I find that typically it's like, you know, there's something you wanna achieve creatively, but then I also think that it's also important to achieve financially, because that's how life can change for you. When I decided I was ready to leave TV, like I did, and my business, you know, is sustaining me. And now I only take a job if I want to. And last year I retired as a makeup artist completely, because it's just, I'm done with it. So if you want to hear more about that, what are the 6 steps to take your business to 6 figures? If you want to see Jeremy you know, share his techniques, his makeup skills that have helped him create a signature look, he's going to be doing that. It's going to be a whole day. We're going to give you as many tools as possible, not only for you to master makeup, because that's so important. You know, keep refining your craft, keep getting better and better, and keep falling in love with it. Then learn how to monetize the hell out of it so you create a different life. Okay, so if you'd like to join us, it's in October, so you have plenty of time, but purchase your ticket. The ticket is $197, and you can bring a fellow makeup artist. So basically what that means, if the 2 of you guys come, you're both coming, and each one of you is paying less than $100 to come. We're going to keep the event pretty intimate, so there's a limited amount of seating, which is why I'm mentioning it now. If you know that you want to come or this sounds interesting, like, you definitely want to hold a ticket for then. And then, we'll see you there. We're going to be sharing more about this. But whether you decide to come to Success in Beauty or not, I hope that you got something from this today, from this talk today, because to succeed, to achieve, there's more than, mastering makeup. There's more than even mastering business. It's also like, what's your mind telling you? How are you getting in your own way, right? What are you doing when your shit is coming up? I can't tell you, here's a truth moment. I have been sitting on announcing Success in Beauty with Jeremy Dell, for the last few days. I've totally been ready. And I've had some resistance around it, and my shit's coming up around it, and because of that, what I just kept doing was avoiding it. I could have really posted about it, the end of last week. I could have done this talk at the end of last week, but I just kept on getting in my own way and finding other reasons and other things that were more important at the time. And I knew exactly what I was doing, It's funny how we sabotage ourselves. But that's the thing, I was aware of it, and I knew that it had to become a must. I had to find the reason why this was important. And why was the reason important? It was because I have too much information to share with people who really need it. There's someone, right, or there are several people who will be there who need to know what I know so that they can change your life. And that's when it became from, yeah, I should, to a must. I have to do it. I got to be there. So that, that's a very simple technique to just kind of change your mind around things. But I hope that you've gotten something from this talk today, that it's inspired you in some way. Hi, Katie. To do something that, you thought maybe you couldn't do before, or to just take the next step in the plan that you already have. I love you tremendously. I will be on probably talking more about stuff like this. If I find any more statistics, trust me, I'm going to share them with you, because that one it's taken me some days to wrap my mind around. But know that, you have a place here where you can come and share your thoughts, and we can have conversations not only about the business of beauty, not only about money, but what's important, what you're really feeling here, and what's in your heart, really. So again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you got something from I'm getting emotional too, because I have this, I don't know if you can hear the music, but it's a soundtrack to something that's perfect, because I feel like I'm having a moment. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and this has helped in some way to get your week started off right. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.